He hit me so hard my vision went white. The elbow cracked against my neck, driving me back into the wall. I remember the way the air left my lungs, the burn in my throat as I struggled to swallow. And his words, sharper than the blow. College is for humans, not garbage like you. Brains are wasted on trash. Then my mother's laugh, a cold, brittle sound that snapped something inside me. Finally, she said, "You match the zero you are." I didn't argue, I didn't cry, I smiled. And in that silence, my revenge began. I wasn't always their punching bag. Once, I thought, if I worked harder, earned better grades, stayed quiet, they'd see me, they'd love me. But love in that house was a currency, and I had none. My sister was the heir, the golden one. I was the mistake they never forgave themselves for. Still, I tried. Late nights with my textbooks, hours of study while bruises purpled on my arms. Teachers called me gifted. At home, I was mocked for thinking books could save me. The night of that elbow strike, I stopped being their victim. I started observing, calculating. My father wasn't just cruel, he was careless. He bragged too loudly at family dinners about tax tricks and shady deals. My mother loved to flash jewelry that didn't match her bank statements. I listened. I memorized. I needed access. So I played my role, obedient, quiet, the failure they believed me to be. They spoke freely around me because they thought I was too stupid to understand. But I understood everything. The betrayal that sealed it came a week later. I overheard them telling my sister they'd save the college money for her future wedding. Not education, not opportunity, a wedding. She smirked, tossed her hair, and called me backup help. That's when I decided, if they wanted me invisible, I'd become a shadow sharp enough to cut. The plan unfolded in silence. First, information. I stole nothing physical, only copies. Tax records, shell company details, wire transfers to accounts that smelled of fraud. My father's empire wasn't built on brilliance, it was built on rot. Second, leverage. I gathered evidence methodically. USB drives hidden inside hollowed-out textbooks, screenshots of my mother's texts to her friend about selling fake jewelry to her own clients. Third, patience. I let them believe they'd broken me. I kept my head bowed, my words clipped, my movements small. The more invisible I became, the more reckless they grew. The moment came on my 18th birthday. They forgot, of course. But I didn't need a cake. I had something sweeter. My father stormed into my room that morning, furious about a client threatening to pull out. "Fix it!" he barked. "Call them! Do something useful for once!" I looked him in the eye, calm, steady. "Why don't you let Emily handle it? She's the heir, right?" The silence after that was a victory I tasted like wine. Within a week, the cracks widened. One client, gone, then two, then three. I never lifted a finger to sabotage them, I simply withheld. All the hidden fixes I used to do quietly, drafting proposals, smoothing over his mistakes, double-checking contracts, stopped. They never realized I was the glue, and without me, everything unraveled. The climax came late one night. I was studying, on a scholarship they didn't know about, when my phone lit up with his name. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. His voice was frantic, broken. "We're drowning. Emily, she can't manage. The clients won't return. You have to come back, please." I let the silence stretch, savoring his desperation. Then I spoke softly. "Garbage can't save you, Dad. Remember? Brains are wasted on trash." I could hear his breathing hitch, the weight of his own words crushing him. My mother took the phone, her voice trembling for the first time in my life. "We were wrong. We need you." I smiled. The same smile I wore the night he smashed me into the wall. "No," I said, "you need each other. Good luck. And I hung up. The fallout was brutal. Their business collapsed in months. Lawsuits, investigations, former friends vanished. My sister fled to another city when the money dried up. And me? I was free. Not just free, I was thriving. I built my own path, brick by brick, without their poison. Scholarships, mentors, opportunities they swore I'd never deserve. I didn't expose them to the authorities, though I could have. I didn't need to. Watching them devour themselves was enough. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if they replay those moments. The elbow, the laughter, the words. Do they remember the boy they called trash, the boy they tried to break? Do they realize it was their cruelty that sharpened me into a blade? Maybe, maybe not. But I know this, when they lost everything, they finally saw me. Not as garbage, not as a zero. They saw me as the storm that ended them. And I never had to raise a hand.